You know, sorry,
That's okay.
when we're looking at this video, it's
It's
backwards.
backwards. It's
So
super
I'm trying to like get my hair on the right side, but I can't because I'm not looking in an actual mirror. I'm looking at the camera because I'm a fucking professional.
So I was
So
talking to some of our friends this weekend because we went to Skepticon.
we
That
did.
that word that you just said is one that I struggled with for a long time.
Which one? Hair? Mirror?
Yeah,
No.
that one. The second one. Yeah, I used to
Yes.
for the longest time I said mayor, which is very southern.
Which is a whole different thing.
Whole different
Like
thing.
that's a person who's in charge of a town,
No,
I
or it's a
think.
horse.
Oh, it is. Yeah, no. Mare is a horse. Okay. Yep. You're
Yeah.
right.
And so I would be made fun of. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to like practice it. And so for a while I just called it reflective surface.
Oh my God.
But my ex-husband, who was, as we all know, is a super, super
He was a
delightful,
delight. Yeah.
super sweet man. He's
Awesome
heart
guy.
of gold. He
Mm-hmm.
would be like, "What's this called? What's this called?" And I would say mayor, and he's like, I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Oh
God.
god." And I
So,
would try to like slow it down. I'm like, "Mayor."
oh,
Like, do it.
so
My
that's
mom's
like
from
a,
like rural Utah. Like, how am I supposed to speak?
it's good to know though that that's like an emotionally triggering thing for you because now I can use that.
Please do.
And when you're feeling especially vulnerable, I'll make fun of how you
I
pronounce
don't know if that'll
mirror.
actually come up though.
Probably not, no.
When am
You
I
know what?
actually emotionally vulnerable besides today when I was emotionally vulnerable?
Good point. I'm still fucking pissed that we didn't go to the mirror maze.
Okay, yes, me too. Those are super fun. Have you ever been?
No,
Okay,
but I assume it's fun. I don't
we'll have to
know.
go sometime. Not there.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe there. Maybe we'll just spend one
They're
whole
doing it
weekend.
there again, so
Okay,
I
so maybe
think.
we'll just spend a weekend in that hotel without having things that we're missing.
Here's what we do next time. We go for like a month,
I'm in.
not just the weekend, but like just the entire month of July. Block it out in the calendar. I could totally, that would work with
Oh,
my
yeah,
lifestyle
I can
just
do that with
perfect.
my well, I'd have to work
Yeah,
there. I would have to work.
it's all
I'd
right
have to,
though.
unload some,
You'd have to
people
work.
that I think no, I'd really have to work. Um, but yeah, I'd have to
Yeah, I don't think running a thrift shop can translate into online work, so I probably wouldn't be able to.
not with that attitude.
True. I just need to get better at it. Yeah. Do you want me to read some more of Ladies First?
Yeah, yeah, I
Maybe.
do. Well, that's one thing I told, the our one of our patrons that we met this weekend is like, if you're missing the Patreon feed, you're missing Ladies First. Like,
Which is epic. Like
it's actually really great.
I don't know how I lived without this content in my life. Like I feel like it's made me see everything in a whole new way and it's opening up new worlds for me that I couldn't even imagine. So we're on chapter 3. Chapter 2 was Ricky is exhausting. I'm just saying. So, Ricky is just to catch up in case you haven't heard the previous ones, our friend Ricky, who is a college
Our
witch
friend.
director, I don't know what she does. She wears a lot of black and is very moody and hates men, um, and has decided to go to this mega rally to write a sternly worded blog post about it and make fun of all the right wingers. But it turns out they're actually delightful people, and she can't figure out how that's happening. And they're super diverse and smart and
That I
kind.
loved that. I'm looking for the racist.
It's just apparently chock full of black people. And
Sure, Ricky, sure.
so Ricky's mind is being blown, apparently. And there's also the hot muscular guy
Mm,
who who moved so she could sit down because
okay.
that's
So I live in the South, as we all know.
yeah.
I know these guys.
Hmm. And they're great, right?
So I have friends that
Hmm.
will only date, the sexy rednecks or the
Hmm.
cowboys or whatever. I swipe left on them so hard in person too. Like if someone comes up to me and they're like, "Ma'am," I'm like,
Yeah, slap them in the face.
just swipe left, swipe left. And
Hmm.
yet I drink at a cowboy bar. But
Yeah, but what
Because
kills
the
me is
drinks are cheap.
they wanna be, like, congratulated for moving so you can sit down or, like, just, whatever. Anyway,
I'm gonna sit
I
harder.
could complain about them all day, but for now,
Right.
chapter 3 of Ladies First
I get so
by
annoyed by
Liberty Adams.
what is it? Chivalry? It's so annoying to me.
Like,
Like, this weekend,
cool.
people are holding the door for me, and I get it because we were in a group and we were all walking
Mhm.
together, but it still makes me a little ragey inside, a little
Because,
bit.
like, then you're obligated to run to the door because they're
Well, no,
holding
we
it
were
for
all
you.
walking in a group, and it was just like I was the next person, but
Oh, yeah. No. I
you slam it in my face, which
I
I
do.
appreciate.
Doors are heavy. I don't
You
know what to
literally do.
tell
You're like,
you.
if you could
Mhm.
pull it behind you and slam it shut, you would.
I'm very selfish, it turns out, and once I'm through that door, I don't give a fuck who's behind me, so I think I'm becoming a
I
Republican, is what I'm
appreciate
saying.
it every time though
Yeah.
when I'm walking behind you and you're like you're just walking and you don't give a fuck and everybody
Yep.
else is like catching the door and
And
I'm
I
like, "Yep."
walk really fast, which I didn't
I
realize
do
until
not
this
walk.
weekend.
Oh, no, I'm just super slow. I'm very
Yeah, no,
slow.
I walk really, really
And I
fast,
was
like, I
extra
was
slow this weekend, slower than normal
Mhm.
because I was sore, so I was, like, practically like old lady shuffle.
Yeah,
Usually, I walk moderately slow, but
mhm.
faster than this.
I'm
Okay.
just very busy and have places to go, so I guess I've adapted my walk for that
We
purpose.
were usually just heading to food. You're
Pretty
like,
much,
I
yeah.
except for that one time that we're all outside waiting, we're like, "Where the fuck is Amy? Where the fuck?" We were like, "Do we order the Uber? Do we not order the Uber? Where the fuck is Amy?"
I was busy and important.
She's fast walking everywhere else
I was
except wherever
fa
we're waiting.
I mean,
We were
full
literally waiting for you.
disclosure, I was probably doing what I did all weekend, which was frantically digging for a thing I was looking for, which could have either been my room key, my makeup, my phone, who the fuck knows, but
How did you lose everything?
everything. I lost
I don't understand,
everything.
but yet you brought
I know. I'm
everything.
prepared, but I still lost all of it, which is why my good makeup is now sitting in Dell's car instead of being
Mine's
at home
behind
with
me in my
me.
bag. I didn't put
So,
any of it on because I haven't
yeah.
showered yet, so I'm just gonna just throw
Yeah,
some
I mean, anyway,
it's
let's do
fine.
chapter 3 and then we'll get to the real show and do a Skepticon
Okay,
roundup. So, if
okay.
the Republicans didn't use the word God so much, thought Ricky, they might be worth listening to help
Fair.
pass the time and also to gather material for a clever lead in to her blog post. Ricky decided to count the number of times the president used the name God in his speech. Even with the warm up speakers, politicians, campaign personnel, and other public figures, and all the black people there, am I right?
High five.
God was freely invoked. If she also counted the Pledge of Allegiance, oh Jesus, here it comes, and the two black women now leading the crowd in prayer,
Sure.
Ricky might have run out of fingers for counting before the president even took the stage. She
Oh, not
wondered
fingers.
She wondered how the Star Spangled Banner escaped without the mention of his name. Well, fun fact, Ricky, and you would know this if you were an actual liberal, God got added to things like the Pledge of Allegiance in the 50s
Yeah.
because of the Red Scare, but whatever, keep being oblivious. I guess they taught you nothing in your liberal college. Anyway,
Go back to your bra burning and your man
and
hating.
black nail polish. In her own activist experience, Ricky could not recall anyone on her side using God as supreme being, guiding force, or higher power, although she had heard the name taken in vain many times. Here's what's bullshit about that. If you don't believe in God, then you don't believe in taking God's name in vain. That's not a thing. It's just
No,
a fucking word that's fun to say. So I
it's
call
not as fun to
bullshit on
say as
that.
motherfucker, though. It's just more fun.
Motherfucker is the best, most satisfying word to say.
Mhm.
But, like, I have a lot of Jesus-y liberal friends. Trust there are plenty of religious people on our side. Anyway,
Fair.
Ricky Ricky bowed her head for the prayer and stared at the tips of her toes. That's what I do too when there's a prayer.
I
Except I'm
don't.
looking around
I look
usually.
around to see the other
You look
heathens,
for the other atheists, right? That's what we do. And
especially at a family dinner.
fun secret fact, if you are in a room with atheists and there's a prayer going on, they will be looking around for all the other atheists. It's a delightful game we play. Ricky bowed her head for the prayer. She could not help but peer up at the two black women on Jesus Christ, Ricky.
I'm counting how many times they say the word God in prayers. That's what I'm doing.
That's fun. The sight was even more unsettling than the diverse crowd of attendees she'd encountered earlier.
Wait,
If
black women are unsettling?
Mhm.
Okay. That's not racist at
It's
all.
going to make
That's fine.
sense.
Okay.
If Trump was a racist and if his
Was
supporters were racist,
for sure.
then why were these ladies given such a respected role?
It's called pandering.
No, it's not. Shh.
What's the other word? What is the
Internalized racism? There's always that.
no, that's not internalized. It's the Trump rally.
Mhm.
It's externalized.
Tokenism?
Tokenism.
Tokenism's a good one.
It's pandering to the crowd.
They were probably some of the
Props.
good ones because, if they agreed with all of their value system, then they're the good ones and they're the exception. Anyway,
Yeah.
even
Yikes.
more puzzling was the lack of reaction of the people in the audience. Nobody except her seemed to think this was anything unusual at all. She
Because they're
gla-
religious black women.
she glanced sideways at Marilyn to find her prayerfully engaged.
Wonder if they have magical powers because they're black.
I bet they do.
Probably too.
Yes.
Magical black women that are going to solve people's
Mhm.
problems.
That's usually how they are. I like this term prayerfully engaged, and I'm gonna start using it as like a euphemism for pretty much everything in my life. From now on, I'm gonna be
Like,
prayerfully
excuse me,
engaged.
I am prayerfully engaged.
Mhm. Listen, step off. I am prayerfully engaged right now. Her eyes were shut, her hands folded, her lips were moving slightly, her head nodding.
What is that
That could
song?
be a sign of mental illness too. I'm just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What is that song? My heart feels like it's gonna bleed. Whatever. I don't know.
I have
But
no
it's
idea.
well, it seems like this just a listing the thing. Her hands were her eyes were shut, her hands were clasped.
Is that a Mormon thing?
No,
I don't know. You'll think of it later.
I'm sure I'm gonna be like
It'll drive you nuts.
yeah, well,
I'll get a text at 1 a.m.
and then I'll respond at 10 a.m. the next day.
Yep. If you're lucky. Ricky was discreet enough to wait to address Marilyn until they finished praying. Smart move, Ricky. Who are these women? She asked.
These
Oh,
black-
Jesus.
these black
Amy.
women.
Amy. Guess who these women are? I kind of saw this coming, but then I was like, no, they won't.
Blacks for Trump.
Diamond and Silk. That's the exact sigh you were supposed to do.
Strippers?
Diamond and Silk. No, you know who Diamond and Silk are.
No, I don't.
You don't? Oh, fuck, Amy. Go, not right now because we're recording, but you're going to have to go Google Diamond and Silk. They are quite the online personalities. They are two magical, delightful black women who are all about conservatism, and the Red Wingers love them so much because they can go, but look, there's those two black ladies.
Are they married to each other?
We're not racist. I mean, who the fuck knows? So, as the raucous applause died down, Marilyn finally looked over at Ricky and grinned. Two sisters from North Carolina. They're famous supporters since 2015. Aren't they great? Everyone loves them. Funny thing is, that's what people were saying about us this weekend.
That's true, actually.
Just saying. Let's see. Ricky didn't know exactly what Marilyn meant by 2015. Perhaps it referred to the early campaign. But a bigger mystery was the prominence of these two women of color before what was supposed to be a racist crowd. Along with other jarring sights at this rally, it didn't match up with her definition of racism. Racism has a okay, never mind. But if she had to define racism, Ricky was not certain that what she saw here would fit. She pushed the thought away. That was impossible. The idea that these folks did not hate people of color or were not homophobic, that they accepted diversity, simply conflicted too strongly with her worldview. Hers was the anti-racist and tolerant bunch. The people she sat with now were the haters. Not only did they hate whoever did not look like them, they were uncouth and uneducated. We need to bring uncouth back as a
I love
word.
that word.
Marilyn, for instance, Marilyn's zeal for anything and everything happening at this rally was getting on her nerves. Didn't the woman have any self awareness? Did she realize how she was
Would you
broadcasting
stop
her
being so excited?
bigotry with her constant arm waving and fist pump? I feel like I'm really getting inside Ricky's mind right now, though. Like,
Why is she so angry at Marilyn? Marilyn's been delightful to her.
because she's an angry feminist and that's how they are.
Okay, because
They're
this
just
woman,
they're angry all the
didn't she
time.
give her a sweater? Like,
Maybe?
I don't
know.
remember.
Who knows?
I blocked it. It's like
I
trauma.
don't. It's so bad.
But
And
Marilyn's been nice. I know Marilyn's been nice, and she saved her seat.
she did. And she didn't even apologize for all the times she bumped Ricky's shoulder when she jumped up from her seat.
So move a little bit.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hmm.
I'm going to
That's
read one
annoying.
more paragraph and then I'm done because I'm exhausted by Ricky. I can't. I thought, chapter 3, it's like 3 pages. We'll figure it out.
No, we can get through it. We can get through it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to read this next week.
Oh, well, I mean, there's more chapters, so.
No, I don't want to read this.
Okay,
chapter.
fine. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the skim.
She's proving they're not racist. If I had bought the book too, we could take turns.
We could be reading along. I mean, to be fair, it's like 3 pages. I could probably send you a picture, but we'll do that next time.
We could take turns reading chapters.
There you go.
Or take turns reading paragraphs.
And then we'll have a contest over who does the best Ricky voice and who really captures her soul the better
I feel like
of us.
She's a really terrible Cockney done by a Texan. Because I can do that. I can do that voice.
Oh my God. That would be wonderful. I would appreciate that.
Why aren't there racists, governor? Diamond and silk, isn't it?
Why aren't there racist governor is a really classic quote for a t-shirt. So
we'll add it to the list that we're never going to do anything about.
Governor, let's see. She considered leaving the venue, except that she was on a mission. She sat back and sulked.
Really good thing she should listen to your gut.
Listen, I like to sit back and sulk too. It can be very satisfying. So whatever, I get it. There must be another explanation.
I have tantrums inside of myself constantly.
Oh, no, yeah, you have to push it way down deep inside.
I am always having internalized tantrums.
You just keep pushing that shit down.
I didn't really
usually
grow
it works
past
out well.
my toddler stage. I just got better at internalizing it.
That's why we're so good at podcasting, though. It's because we shove all that rage deep down.
And it comes out, it bubbles up in jokes.
Exactly. That's why we're so good at this. Let's see. Something simple, of course, there she was. Rally purpose, pet something came when proud to be an American.
Oh, of course.
It came quickly, almost unexpectedly. That's what she said.
It better not.
Sorry.
I would be very disappointed.
I can't help myself sometimes. When
we'll
proud
have to talk about Skepticon and how you and I are actually 12.
I was going to say 13, but
okay.
12 does seem more.
You are older than me.
Very true. That makes you like 10. So when proud to be an American boomed through the speaker system, the crowd went to its feet. The roar as the president walked on stage was overwhelming. This makes me want to vomit thinking about this.
It really happened.
She sighed with relief. In an hour or a little more, this circus would come to an end. In the meantime, she would pay attention to the man who was perhaps the person she most loathed in all the world. Me too, girl. She brought up the Notes app on her phone. She wanted to get some good quotes. I mean, you just record it then, right?
Just record it.
You don't need to take notes. Well, if she's that good of a liberal, she knows how to use a fucking iPhone. It took some time for everyone to quiet down.
And my phone has a recording thing too. Just saying.
Everybody's does. He began with remarks on the size of the crowd before moving quickly to bash the media.
Look at all these black people, am I right? We are so not racist.
No. That Trump and the press had a hostile relationship was something that Ricky knew well. Every night in the news, the press fought valiantly against the president's attempts to suppress reporters from informing the public of his malfeasance and corruption.
It just spews bullshit.
It disgusted her that he actually used his contempt of the media to fire up the crowd. Good. It should disgust you.
It's gross.
Are you going to change your mind about this, Ricky? Because then I'm not going to be on board with you at all.
I'm already not.
You're on thin ice at the moment. You see these people, he said, pointing his finger and sweeping his outstretched arm in front of him, his tiny, tiny little finger
His
and his
hand.
tiny, tiny little hands. Back there, the fake news. If Pocahontas and Sleepy Joe ever had a crowd like this, the dishonest media would be turning their cameras every which way, letting the viewers see the audience. But with me, they keep the frame tight and square on me so the viewers can't see that we have standing room only inside, with many times more watching outside on the Jumbotrons. Cool. Brag much? Good for you. Nobody cares.
So do NASCAR rallies and
Right? The crowd booed on cue because
boo, Sleepy Joe.
that's
I
not, I
Sleepy
mean,
Joe too, man. Sleepy Joe.
free thinkers and enlightened people are well known for booing in unison because that's how you know the crowd is diverse and they
Well,
all
yes,
fucking
like
boo in
the
unison.
only reason we won the last election is because we had bigger flags.
Exactly. Ricky, unable to help herself, looked at the media risers. The camera operators did not take the bait. Their lenses remained frozen in place, trained directly on. How the fuck does she know that? She doesn't know they're frozen in place. What? She's not looking through the cameras.
I refuse to give in to this tyrant.
This is not science. As the boos sounded through the arena, the president shook his head in disgust. Then he stepped back from the mic and strolled the stage, taking in the crowd. Someone started a chant of USA. That's what this weekend was missing, I feel like, was some good USA chants, but maybe next year.
We didn't do it. What if we had started it?
That would have been great.
What do you actually think would have happened?
It could only have been good. He seemed totally at ease. In here, surrounded by his sycophant supporters.
I love that word.
Sycophant. It's accurate.
We need more of those.
I need a few more sycophants, honestly. I didn't get my sycophant fill this weekend. I was expecting more of them, but whatever. The threat of imminent indictment simply did not exist. That didn't age well, did it? She'd been waiting a long time for his indictment. It seemed everybody was, but he did not appear at all to be a man about to be a perp walked from the White House in handcuffs, locked up with his fortune, his life, and his reputation in ruins. Indeed, he joked, smiled a lot, and even engaged in banter with the audience. The venue was filled with a rock concert-like atmosphere because we all know that when things are going badly, it's impossible to pretend like they're not.
That's my entire life.
I mean, clearly, if something were going bad in your life, you wouldn't be able to control anything that you say or do. And so
all I do.
Right? So that's more science. Anywho. Let's see. It was another thing Ricky saw but could not believe. This guy was a crook. He must be, she thought after. Oh, God, I can't even. But okay, here we go. He was a billionaire, therefore he was untouchable.
Billionaires aren't crooks.
Oh, they're using Karen in a. Let's see. He must be, she thought, after all the media and her friends told her this night after night. Yes, all of my deep thoughts, I know, are from my friends in the media telling me those things night after night, because that's how thinking works.
I mean, they tell me what to think and to say. It helps. It actually helps a lot.
It really does. I don't have to make as many decisions. He must be, she thought, after all the media and her friends told her this. It was one of her and her roommate Karen's favorite topics of discussion. Okay.
She has a roommate. Is she a gay?
God, I hope not.
I hope so.
No, you know what's going to happen?
She hates men.
She is a gay.
Yeah.
But Tex MacGyver or whatever his name is going to turn her around on that.
Tex MacGyver, I imagine when he opens his mouth, it's an owl screech or hawk, whatever that sound is. Like the bald eagle screech.
With a really thick accent, though. And a super big hat. Like a really big cowboy hat.
Is
Okay.
he single?
I wanna meet him. I'm
Give him
intrigued
my
by this guy.
number.
Listen, I'm a little intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. So, let's
You
see
need to
here.
come to the cowboy bar with me. It's
I
so
do.
fun. You
Sounds
just
great.
collect phone numbers and then you ghost everybody.
I mean, if that's how I spent my whole 20s, I'm just saying.
It's literally yeah, it's fun.
That's how
Until I
everybody
realized
fun
it's
spent their whole
probably
20s.
not nice. Okay, I spent my last summer, which was my
Mhm.
20s.
But I mean, for the most part. You're what, 27 now?
Mm.
Okay, let's see. But there was one thing Ricky was forced to agree with, even though many of her sisterhood colleagues reviled the military.
Sisterhood.
Ricky felt a wellspring opening up at the president's support of the veterans. For sure, it was a true crowd pleaser.
He did a lot of things to help the veterans out, right? During his presidency.
Tons.
Like he helped mental health and
All of that
veteran like
shit. They all have
outreach.
homes now.
They all have
So
homes, they all have jobs, they all have
PTSD is cured. So
oh,
that's
good.
cool. Yeah.
But only for veterans or for everybody?
I
'Cause
mean,
actually,
just for veterans.
I hate to get on my high
But
horse that I just have right here,
no, you don't.
but, women have more PTSD than veterans.
Mm, do they though? Have you seen the Red Pill, the documentary?
Did they fight in the war?
Listen, men have it harder than
Oh,
women
rape.
because
You're right, rape doesn't cause PTSD, my bad.
they have
'Cause
to
there was a dick
fight
involved.
in all the wars. I watched that fucking Red Pill movie. I subjected
Did
myself
you
to that
really?
shit. Oh god, it was so bad.
So women don't have
Oh,
PTSD?
it doesn't matter if women have PTSD. The thing is that men are more persecuted against because when wars happen, they are the ones who are forced to go, not women.
Because when women go, we get raped.
That seems like too much logic. I mean,
Like,
aside
I have cousins and family members and friends that have joined
Mhm.
the military, and they have to leave early because they get assaulted.
I mean,
Like,
it
pretty much straight
seems to
across the board.
me like the main flaw in their logic is that men are the people sending all the men to fight in the wars
Also that, and they're also starting all the wars.
and starting all the wars and not letting the women serve in combat. I mean, it's not like women have been like, "Fuck no, we're not gonna join the." Plenty of women join the military.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna do it because it
I'm
would
not
be
gonna
the
do it.
worst thing I can possibly imagine. I do not
I'm
like
not gonna do it. Well, I have
taking orders
PTSD
from people.
already. I don't need to add
Mhm,
to it.
mm-mm.
But I just read somewhere that women are very underdiagnosed with PTSD
Of course they are.
because they're not former military people.
Because bitches be crazy,
Bitches be tripping, am I right?
like we say every week. Okay,
Say every
we
week.
can do this. We're in the home stretch. We're almost done. 2 more paragraphs. So close. Here we go.
Just keep interrupting you because
Okay,
I
okay,
don't want
okay,
to.
okay. I hate Ricky so much
I
right
don't
now.
want to hear it. I'll just
She's
tell
so
you about the
terrible.
person that
Okay,
sat
here
next
we
to me
go.
on the plane.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
We can do it. We can do I'm gonna power through it. That's
He
it.
slept the whole time. There's nothing to say.
No more jokes.
Okay. Rally.
No
Fuck you,
more.
rally. Fuck you, rally.
I can do this. I'm a professional.
This is
Ricky
why no one listens to our Patreon content. Okay.
But it's so good. It's so good. It's like there goes my pillow. It's like the best part of the show. Okay.
There goes my pillow. There's another 90s song right there.
Ricky checked her phone for the time. The president had been on stage for nearly an hour. She sat tight, listening, although she was beginning to scan her notes and add to them because she doesn't know how to fucking record. Her notes contained an arsenal of material from which she would tease out the coded language and stretch the truth just enough to spin into the damning blog post worthy of going. You do not need to tease out Trump's language.
I used to watch his
It's right
press
there.
releases. I used to watch his press conferences when he was president. It is
Mhm.
not hard.
I mean, yeah, there's no subtlety
I
with
followed
that
his
guy.
Twitter. Come on.
He's not encoding any of his
He
language.
doesn't know the wording code.
No, he wouldn't. Anyway, Ricky congratulated herself when the president finished. She checked. That's what he said? That's what she
Mhm.
said? Maybe? Oh, I feel like that works. She checked the time again. She was in no hurry, with the exits now clogged with rally goers. She continued to type out notes and made a call
That's
to
what she said.
Mhm.
The exit's clogged with rally goers. No more jokes. Okay. No more.
This is not Skepticon. Be an adult. Here we go. She continued to type out notes and made a call to Karen, her roommate, to tell her what time she expected to be home. She would try and make the 10 p.m. trolley. Who wrote trolleys? Are trolleys still a thing?
They are.
Okay. We were just in St. Louis, and
there were probably trolleys in St. Louis. We just didn't see them.
Well, I mean, the whole song "Clang, Clang, Clang Goes the Trolley" is from "Meet Me in St. Louis," which is.
You're right. You're right.
So yes, I did see the horse and carriage. It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous when we were outside.
It was one of those things that I looked at and I was like, "Oh, fucking lame! I can't believe." And then I'm like, "But I really kind of want to do it too. It's really pretty. Like
I would have done it with you."
Like Amy in real life is like, that's fucking stupid, but Amy there is like, oh.
That's when we were like skittish, like, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna go here. I'm gonna color 2 flowers. I'm gonna go here. Then I'm gonna go here. Then I'm gonna go here.
That convention was perfect for people with ADHD. I'm just saying. If you
like, what's in this room?
If you have a bad case of ADHD, what you want is to be in a place where there are not only laser light shows going on, but like 7 different attractions right behind it, people on different floors in different rooms, having workshops
literally
at different
move the party
times.
from one room to the other based on what we needed to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, who's in their room and has the most makeup and clothing? And
then my room was the alcohol room. Shocker.
Mine was the snack room. I had lots of snacks.
Shocker.
Lots of snacks, lots of clothes. Tiaras, lots of those. Just general mess. Just shit all over the bed. Like it was.
Ow!
I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. I can't help it.
Anyway. Okay. I didn't understand any of it at all.
So you should start recording the real show because it's been like half an hour.
Okay. I will go live.
The normies are going to want to hear some of this. Okay.
Are you done with the chapter?
I'm done. Yes, that's it. No more subjecting ourselves to that until next time.
Okay, I'll do it.
Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
Want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead.
If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just 2 ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we're just 2 blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. And we recently returned from the great city of St. Louis. And I say great very sarcastically.
There were so many quotes around that.
So
your flight left before mine yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When you walked to your gate, was the entire airport creepy dead?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like the beginning of a zombie or a horror movie?
Not only that, nothing was open.
Yes, nothing was open.
Everything was dirty.
Was dead. Everything was dirty.
It was kind of like this just kind of like
super
weird place that people had neglected for decades.
So this lady in line at the airline and then suddenly when they announced my flight was full. Every seat was full. They were asking people to like check their bags and stuff, like insane. Like there was nobody in the entire airport, like dead. Like there were tumbleweeds flying. Oh, yeah. Like it was so empty. And then the flight landed and they started boarding and suddenly there were 150 people at my gate. And I was like, where the I don't think they were real people. I think they were just NPCs.
I mean, when I got to my gate, the entire like waiting area was full with people waiting for the flight.
Like 5 people there.
No, they were there waiting because there was nowhere for me to sit because there was no like Tex MacGyver to move so I could sit in his seat. So I had to stand there like a chump with my fucking
I would sit on somebody or I'd ask them to move. I'm like, can you move so I can sit my ass down?
I was still recovering from how thoroughly I was molested by the TSA.
Oh, I was
like,
I even told
it was.
Oh, Amy, I didn't tell. I haven't talked to you.
No.
So
forever.
Okay, so Amy and I met. We had lunch-ish, Starbucks yesterday, and then her gate was this way and my gate with this way, which was separate security checks.
Yes,
Just super weird.
each gate had its own security. That is not
'Cause
normal.
usually at pretty much every other airport I've ever been to, you walk in the
Civilized
doors,
airport. Mhm.
there's a security, and then you have time to wander around, and then your gates
Right.
are different ways and whatever. Like,
And you can access all the restaurants and the stores and everything because
which
you've
are
been through
open.
security, which are all open even though it's
Okay.
Sunday.
Right. St. Louis
Shit
isn't like
together,
that.
Missouri.
St. Louis,
Mhm.
apparently, it's like a whole mall area first, which everything's
Mhm.
closed though.
Mhm.
Then you go to your gates,
And there's
through
nothing.
security, and then dead zones, and
Mm-mm.
everything is dead, and then your gates or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I get up to the security and I take off my shoes, I take out my phone, I put everything in the thing, and we have the bags or whatever. We sort it all out. And I go to the thing that spins on you, and I tell him this is gonna go off because the lady at DFW when I came out told me
Mhm.
I'm too short for this machine, and I set it off because things aren't where they're supposed to be, according to the
Oh,
machine.
okay.
I'm gonna set it off, and then you have to swallow my hands, and it's a whole thing. I'm like, "Can I go through
Mhm.
an X-ray so you can just actually see that there's nothing on me,
Mhm.
other than this bomb ass, whatever." Which is a joke. You shouldn't
Which
make
is
it to
so
the airport.
true. Yeah,
And
no, they don't like that
I continue to make it for some
because
reason.
it's solidly funny, but
I know
okay.
every time, but I
Mhm.
didn't say it this time because it was like this guy that I could already tell was flirty.
Yeah.
So, but he was like, "No, no, no, you're fine." And I was like, "No, I'm telling you, I travel all the time. I set this machine off every time. You're gonna have to swab my hands. It's gonna be a whole thing. Can I go through an X-ray instead of this machine that spins? I'm
Mhm.
too short for this machine." Amy, you saw how I was dressed yesterday.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
not cute.
No, I mean, you were not,
I was
like
not dressed.
you
I
were
was
not
wearing
evening Amy.
no, I was wearing
You were lounging Amy.
leggings and a tank top.
Mhm.
That's it.
It
And
was
it was
cute though, but still.
no.
Mhm.
I was in my daytime, this is what I wear when I'm around the house wear.
Right.
And he told me, direct quote, after I told him all of that, "Why don't you back all of that up and come back through this machine?"
Wait, what?
Oh yeah,
For real?
for real. That happened to me yesterday.
Oh my god.
So I felt violated. And I knew it was
Mm.
gonna be super, super uncomfortable. I wasn't even
Mm.
wearing makeup other than whatever
No,
was brought to you by the
sure.
night before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
okay.
backed all of this up and I went to the machine and I set it off, which is shocker because that's literally what I
Mhm.
told him was gonna happen. And then they didn't
Yeah,
swab my
but
hands because I told the lady and she was like, "I heard the whole thing. Just
oh,
go."
they swabbed my hands.
She told me, "Don't worry about it. Just go, just go, just go."
They oh my god. First,
I
there were,
hate it
of
so much.
course, not enough people there working.
No, no.
So, you're in this long fucking line, and the people in front of me,
You
it was
have
like
to wait in
this
a long line?
kinda, yeah. There was
That's
this
dead.
family
There
No.
was, like someone had their horse, like, tied to the other machine. It was that empty.
No, I mean, it wasn't full, but, like, there was one person working security and everybody trying to get through it, and everybody was
That's because
angry and
Creeper McCreepenstein, no one can work with him over a
Yeah.
line.
But this family in front of me, it was one of those families where you feel all the red flags and, like, clearly the
Yeah.
dad is just a problem, and his meek-looking wife and 2 children were like, "Dad, I need I forgot I have some water," and he's like, "Why would
What?
you not remember to dump out the water before we get to secure like, it's the easiest thing to do, just"
Gosh.
and
First
I'm
of all,
looking
the
at this
trash
dude
can's
thinking,
probably closed because it's Sunday in St. Louis.
I mean, they're children. For granted, they were like tween children, but still,
Mm-mm.
they're children.
And it's
They
not a
don't
big deal. You just say, "Oh, we have
know.
water." You hand
They
it out.
they have a thing there for you to d like, it's a whole
It's fine. You're
he
fine.
was just being such an asshole, and the mom's over there, like, trying to, comfort the kids as you do when you're an abused woman, and she's, like, trying to keep things okay and not talking, and I just immediately hated him, but then they
Did
got
you
through security. I go through security.
stab him with your knife that you certainly didn't have on you?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about. There was no knife on me at any time,
Okay. Okay, okay.
and I will say that in court.
Absolutely. I know you would. I would testify.
But, yeah,
I
so
saw it
I
the whole time.
I yesterday, while I did not have any makeup on, had a hot outfit on. Like, I
You
had this
looked great.
it was a cute dress
Yeah,
and
you looked great. I did
kinda
not,
low
and
cut.
that's
It was
fine.
very so
I
I
was
throw
okay
all
with
my
not looking
shit
great.
in the thing and I go through the machine and I knew how to do it because I had done it on the way there. And I'm like, ooh, I'm a pro. I'm going to put my arms
It's
up. This
super
is going to be a
easy.
great thing.
You take your shoes off, you
Do
throw
the
all
whole
your
thing.
stuff
Yep.
in.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm getting right on that plane.
You remember your headphones, which are in your bra, which I have not
Exactly.
before.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I get through the machine and they stop me and a woman was like, okay, ma'am, I'm going to, and they didn't, like, it didn't seem like anything had happened.
No,
They just,
it's random also.
yeah. So she's,
But also I set off the machines every time. You can hear it. You can see the red light flash and you hear there are sirens.
I mean, I looked pretty good, so maybe that was it.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna blame them.
Did you make a bomb ass pussy joke or is that
No, but now I'm sad that I didn't.
I always do. I'm like, the only bomb I'm carrying.
No.
You have to make noises too, so they know you're kidding.
So that works better.
Like if I'm gonna I'm sorry, if I'm gonna build a
Mhm.
explosive device,
Mhm.
FBI that's listening to me,
Mhm.
if I'm going to
They don't
build one,
listen to this show.
I'm not gonna travel immediately after. I'm gonna give it a beat.
Yes.
Time to get the stuff off my hands, then go through security.
Because we're good at committing crimes.
Or I'd wear gloves. Are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me? Am I a noob?
Thank you. So yeah, I have not gotten a pat down from the TSA since 10 years ago. I don't even know. Not that I ever go anywhere, but still.
Well, and in DFW, they patted me. She was like, I'm gonna have to touch your butt and your crotch. And I was like, what?
I sailed right through on the way there.
What?
But they were like, I'm going to need to feel I'm going to do it. And she was very professional and like, I'm going to use the back of my hands.
Back of your hands. They always
She
do
was
this to me.
She was clearly in training because there was another woman watching her who was directing her on what to do. So I'm standing there just
don't
like
squeeze, don't pinch.
Just everything, just like really, I think she really enjoyed it. And I did a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was a little
the most actually you got
it
all
was
weekend.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. It was like
Same.
I'm here for this.
Yeah.
And as it's going on, I'm thinking, really? I'm wearing like a one-piece dress with 0 pockets in it, but she had to like, feel my hips and feel my stomach and like make sure they're
Well, I always
trust me, there are no pockets in this dress.
I'm
I can't
like,
hide anything.
Oh, they asked me, do you have anything in your pocket? I'm like, I'm a woman. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's what I say. And they're like, fair.
Mhm.
But then when I walk through those machines, because I travel every month. I'm actually traveling again on Saturday, but I travel. And so I walk up and they're like, do you have any pockets? I'm like, do I have pockets? That's adorable. And then I tell them, I'm going to set off the machine. I'm too short for this machine. Nobody ever believes me, ever.
Nope,
I
because
set
you're
it
a
off.
woman.
Right. I set it off. And then they come up and they were like, why do you think you set off the machine? I'm like, first of all, I'm under 5 foot and this machine is clearly made for average height people. And I have metal plates in my hips. And they were like, oh, none of that would do it. I'm like, then why did it go off?
Oh my God.
Explain it to me.
This is what women deal with our whole fucking life.
Okay, yeah, being told by a professional in a uniform to back all of that up.
And then be told that you have no idea what you're talking about when the thing that you've done a million times
to my face
has happened.
And gentleman caller was on the next row over, so he didn't hear that because I told him on the plane. He was like, what? But it happens to me so frequently that I register it, get super incensed inside, and then I just do whatever I'm going to do.
Yeah,
because
of course.
What else am I going to do? And at that point, so I had, as you know, this whole weekend, I have I tore or strained or stretched or something. I injured my oblique.
I definitely did not stab you with my tiny necklace. I'm just putting
you
that
did not
out there.
stab me with your knife, no. But I've been in pain all weekend, so I've been like my entire weekend has been super fun, but I'm always looking for the next place to sit down. Like in my head, I'm always like, where can I sit down? So as this guy's being super infuriating to me, I'm like, where can I sit down? So I'm like looking, and they don't even have, so every other airport I've been to, and I've been to several airports. I've been to Phoenix, I've been to Nashville, I've been to Dallas, I've been to, now St. Louis, like other airports. There's a couch after you get through security so you can sit down and put your seats down. This had hard metal chairs.
Yep.
Like, not even a bench. It was like hard metal chairs. I'm like, how am I? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go sit there and put my seats on. But okay, so yeah, we need to talk about Skepticon.
Yes, we should. I was just gonna say, I very briefly when I got on my plane, I ended up sitting next to a gal that seemed fucking delightful. That honestly, under any other circumstance, I'd turn around and be like, "Hey, we seem like we probably have everything in common. Let's chat this whole time. But I got one of the exit row seats, and holy shit, there's
Oh,
like
no.
3 times the leg space, Amy.
Yeah.
3. But then, of course, they actually come up to you and go, read this. If you don't
Yeah.
think that you can get people
I
off this
always
plane in one piece, you're going to
they
have to
ask me,
move.
they're like, "Do you wanna be on the exit row?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm gonna be in the row behind. I have more space,
Mhm.
but less responsibility."
Well, as
Blood
they're
is not on
telling
my
us, this gal next to me and I are looking at each other like, "Okay, um, sure, we've read this, but in a crisis situation, I'm gonna be completely unreliable, but I
I'm
don't feel
actually
bad about
super
that.
reliable. So I don't know.
Everybody's gonna be unreliable. Your plane has
Well,
crashed.
yes, but I don't know if you
They
know this
can't do
about
any
me that
better than me."
I used to work for 911,
Mhm.
and I do actually handle myself well
I
in
did not
crisis
know that.
situations. Oh, you didn't
Mm-mm.
know that. I
Mm-mm.
did that. So, yeah, I have been in crisis situations before, and I
Mhm.
actually do handle myself well. So I know I would be okay. I just don't want to have to read the pamphlet or get the spiel.
It
So
was
I do
kind of
not sit on the exit rows.
confusing, not
Yeah, I
gonna
don't.
lie. It was, and the pictures, the drawings were
It's
amazing.
just the thing is, the crew's gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, this
They're
this
gonna help you. It's fine.
this lady next to me and I decided that, look, we'll do our best. We can't make promises.
Right.
We'll get out of this scrape as well as anybody's going to be able to. So
Yeah,
let's
I
just
watched
read
a
our books
movie.
and do
I ignored
whatever.
everybody sitting next to me, even though one of them was gentleman caller, and,
Hmm.
I talked
As
enough
you
the
do.
whole weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I just
Hmm.
yeah.
So anyway, okay. So Skepticon.
Skepticon. It was so
So
much fun. It was so much fun.
we had been planning for this for so long, and
It
it
lived up to my
was,
expectations,
oh
honestly.
yeah, the first
I
thing I
just
couldn't,
wished I hadn't done laundry and hurt myself ahead of time,
I mean, I wish
or it's a sex injury.
we
I'm gonna
had
call it a sex injury.
mine as well. It makes it sound way
It
cooler. I'm
sounds
just saying.
cooler than I was twisting, and I pulled
Um,
something, getting something out of the dryer.
I wish we could have stayed for like 4 or 5 weeks instead of like 4 days.
It would be fun if we had been
Um,
able to get there, like, earlier and stayed
yes.
later.
Yes. Which I thought, I went on Wednesday and I thought that
That
gives
was
me plenty
great.
of time to have fun and do shit and
Well, you explored the hotel, which was awesome, because
a
then you were
little
telling
bit,
me all
yeah.
about it.
It was so great. It was this historic, beautiful old train depot.
Yeah, it's Union Station in St. Louis, and it's
Stunning.
amazing. It's amazing.
Stunning. Just like everything about it, the tile work and they have a fucking
It's
laser
beautiful
light show
every hour
every hour,
at night.
and it's so good. Like,
Except
they're
that
all
last night we were
different.
there, because there was a wedding, which was rude.
Ugh, I know,
Except
right?
we got invited to the wedding, but I wasn't gonna go.
I mean, I still am mad that I didn't try to break up that wedding, because I think it would have
I
been a
tried
fun challenge,
Were you with
but
me when I tried to tell the cop to break him up?
mhm, yeah,
Okay,
he wasn't gonna go for it.
he
He
wasn't gonna
seemed
go.
like he kinda wanted to a little bit though, but
Just for me. He wanted
I
to make me
mean,
happy. Or
he seemed
actually, he just
fine.
wanted to make my dress happy.
Mhm. I was just like, "This is a beautiful venue, and
It's gorgeous.
I feel like I should sow some chaos, because just 'cause. It's my weekend, you know? I'm here by myself hanging out and no responsibilities, but
Right. So it
I'm
was
also
fun.
lazy,
We had
so
we didn't get to
mhm.
see as like, everybody, 'cause
No,
not a lot of people
because
showed
there's
up,
so much time
but we got to
to, yeah.
see a lot of people, and we got to hang
Mhm,
out so much,
mhm.
and we like, so many times just in the rooms, like, the parties were just, like, the greatest.
I know, we spent so much time just, like, playing dress up,
We did. We watched Dell do a fashion show, that
which,
was fun.
and Dell, oh my god, like,
Okay, so I loved Dell from the show,
right.
and I met them in person,
Mhm,
amazing,
right.
and then I saw them, go all out, and I was like, "Good God."
Right? It's like you
Wha
it's one of
I
those things where you're looking at this person going, "How are they human?"
I don't understand how I'm the same species as them.
Right, like, are they half
And I feel like
supernatural, half
I'm
human?
I feel like I'm a relatively attractive
Oh, yeah,
person.
we're both cute, but, like, Dell is, like,
Good God.
taking it to the next level, godlike, just facial features, outfit, carriage, like,
This is not
everything.
gonna help with
It's
their, like, self-esteem.
right, because you cannot nobody can live up to that, it's impossible. There's
No.
no way any of us can be that fierce ever. I did make Dell, I wanted to learn how
It's
to do a
amazing.
proper full body selfie.
I don't understand how you don't know how to do this.
I don't do it that often. That's how
I
I'm
do.
like,
I do it constantly. So
I know you
apparently,
do.
so
but-
apparently, I was describing my swimsuit to
Mhm.
Dell. I was like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, my swimsuit is." And Dell was like, "Whoa, we all remember the hot tub selfie." And I was like, "What?"
That's true. We do.
I had no
Mhm.
idea. Apparently, it was fucking. I was like, "Okay."
Oh, I
So
remember
know.
Dell's comment on that photo.
Do you? What
Oh
was
yeah, something about a thirst trap.
What?
And I've heard that that's what kids call it when you post pictures where you're trying to look intentionally sexy, I guess.
I wasn't. I was literally
don't
hanging out
know.
in my friend's hot tub. I just
Mhm.
forgot to put the little claspy thing that makes my boobs a little tighter up.
I mean, I also
And
have
they
a
were just
really, really good memory for details, so it might
So
just be that. But
my not relationship that
Mhm.
I'm not in,
Mhm.
the only time he's liked or commented on anything in Instagram for like 5 years was that
Was
picture.
that picture? Yeah. I mean, everybody did. You couldn't ignore that picture. I'm just
I should just post those all the time and people will actually comment. Meanwhile, I'm sitting I think our profile picture that we both put up
It was fun.
is really fun and we both look amazing.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
It's
we both look
super
great.
fun. Like
So I'm still sitting here watching it like, why
Mhm.
aren't more people liking my picture? Because I'm really
What?
weird like that.
I'm
I don't know.
I'm the same way.
So
The one regret
yes.
okay, I take that back.
Two.
One regret that I have, I'm not gonna make a whole list, but one
No,
of them
you
is
have
that
two though.
I do. There was no fucking hot tub in this hotel.
Okay, that's not a regret though. You can't
That
change that.
is
I
a
was thinking your regrets
crime.
were the Ferris wheel and the mirror maze.
Those 2. I'm very sad about those.
The mirror
M
maze.
the mirror maze, and
the mayoral maze.
I kinda regret not getting to meet Lord Stanley, the blue lobster, who
Yes.
there is an
Rude.
aquarium attached to it, and they have a
You
resident
know I would go.
named
I would go.
Lord Stanley, and he is
blue?
a blue fucking lobster.
Okay, why is he blue?
I don't know. So many questions.
Okay, so I'll go.
But there was no time to go, so I couldn't
Actually,
go and see him.
lobsters kind of tend to go more purple blue.
Mhm.
You know what makes them red?
Sex.
The hot water.
Actually, I didn't know that. Now that I
Yeah.
think about it. But no, this
I was like, why are
this
they blue? Never mind, because they haven't been cooked.
this dude has, like, T-shirts made with him and his name on them, and apparently there was a whole naming
Okay.
contest when they got this lobster, so
And
the
they didn't
people of
call him
St. Louis
Lobster Big Lobster Face.
that is what would have happened here, but apparently the classy, classy people of St. Louis went with Lord Stanley,
Okay,
which
but Lawrence Stanley is fantastic.
it's so good. Yeah, so this place had
Lobster McStanley face.
an aquarium, a mirror maze, a kick-ass enormous Ferris wheel.
Which, okay, so
A
that
poop
is an aggressive.
course.
We really want to go on the Ferris wheel.
You have no idea how sad I am that I did not. Here's what I wanted.
Didn't want to do it when I was there because I
Mhm.
didn't know how far I'd have to walk and I was hurting to get to the Ferris wheel.
Here's what was
That was my problem.
what I was picturing in my mind was all of us totally glammed up, evening
Yeah,
gowns and tiaras.
which we had. You and I both didn't wear the evening gowns we brought.
Yeah, I did.
All of them?
No, well, no.
Exactly.
There weren't enough days to wear everything I brought.
Exactly. I still have more
Mhm.
sequin dresses.
Oh, yeah. So, but like all of us walking our fine selves to the Ferris wheel, everybody staring and getting on that bitch in the dark when it was like lights out and just having this magical Ferris wheel ride.
That sounds amazing.
And it almost happened.
Did it? When?
Almost. So I think it was like Saturday night, sometime before Skeptiprom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, we haven't gone on fucking Ferris wheel. And Rich was like, let's go right now. Let's go do it.
I would go.
Like, let's go. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then something came up and I got sidetracked and we didn't do it. And I don't know. I had many opportunities throughout the weekend to go on the Ferris wheel. It's just that then there were more people to hang out with and talk to, and it was like,
Yeah.
I kept thinking, I have time for the
It
Ferris
was
wheel.
amazing.
There'll be time.
Skepticon was amazing. Skeptiprom was amazing.
Mhm.
It was good. I got to meet so many people, or see so many people. I got to meet new people. I've never met
Yes.
Eli, so I
Mhm.
got to meet Eli, which was amazing. And
Chad
was
was
fun.
cool as hell.
hung out with Chad, who's a
Mhm.
new person
Yes.
added to our group.
Yep.
Yeah, super fun.
Our group, which I
Well,
we
I
have a
mean,
group.
to our like podcast world, like
Yes, to
he's
the
new.
to the Podverse.
Yes,
Podiverse? I
he's
don't know.
new. He's new, but we got to hang
Yes.
out with Callie, which was amazing.
Yep.
We got to hang out with
Hertzie
Hertzie,
and
Dell, and Rich. You know,
and
our
Willis.
what is it? 22nd Rich.
I mean, I've been thinking about this since yesterday. And while I am trying to redo my hair here, I was gonna go with
Willis and Dawn.
Willis and Dawn are
They've been on the
just
show a bunch of times, and
so fucking
so
great.
on the show, they're
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
In person,
They're even
they
fucking
are
better.
fucking delightful. And then
They're
Dawn, so I didn't know this about Dawn.
Mhm.
Apparently, this is a thing that Dawn does.
Mhm.
So Willis is like, St. Louis is such a fucking boring city. Oh, I hate
Mhm.
this town. Blah, blah, blah. And Dawn's like, have you ever heard about this little hole in the wall taco place
Oh.
around the corner?
Mhm.
And whatever, like Dawn knows all of these magic
Mhm.
spots.
Mhm.
We went to this bar.
Oh my god, Amy.
So we went out to dinner. Dinner was great. Like
So
I
good.
super enjoyed dinner. And then Dawn was like, do you guys want to walk around the corner to this bar? And we're like, you had me
Yeah,
at bar.
okay. Yeah.
Amy was
Well.
like, yeah, sure. Me, I was like, alcohol, bar.
Well,
Yeah.
and Dawn, to be fair, was like, "This has you written all over it, Amy. You need to
Oh,
see
yeah.
this." And
She'd
I'm
already
like,
sent it
"Okay,
ahead to
well,
me,
I'll
and
take
then
your word for it."
she sent it ahead, and we were like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
It'll
But
be fine.
the pictures didn't do it justice.
Oh god, no. No.
This place,
Oh.
everything was tiled. Everything was beautiful. It was kind of kitschy.
Mhm.
There's this one place downstairs, like in this back area, where you pull on this old skateboard, and there's like
Mhm.
the old outhouses in there. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing was just
It is
insane.
it was my brain on the outside.
Yes.
So,
Well,
like, if you were to look inside of my brain,
yes.
it would spew forth everything in
So
this bar.
I told you when we were at the bar that you
Mhm.
need to go to a place called Tinkertown in
Mhm.
New Mexico, which you do.
Okay.
It's that place
Mhm.
as an entire house.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It
Oh,
is,
I love
and
it
there's
so
every
much.
different rooms, and different rooms have different themes, and everything is just the whole house. Like he made the whole house like this. It's awesome.
It
But
was
but that's what it is. Is this bar
Yeah.
is basically
In
miniature
that moment,
Tinkertown.
I loved Dawn so much
I know.
that I almost asked her to adopt me so that I could move in with her because she just got
When
me,
we
you
first got
know?
there, when we first get there,
Mm.
we have to go to the bathroom because we had just had
'Cause
drinks
of
out on a
course.
patio, and of
Right.
course, I have a bladder of like a
Mhm.
a woman of a certain age.
Right.
So we get there, and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, they're like, oh, down these stairs. The
Mhm.
stairs are like gorgeous and tiled, whatever, but they're tiny,
Oh,
steep
yeah.
stairs. And all I'm picturing is 3 drinks in, having to pee.
Mhm.
I would die. Like they'd find me at the bottom of the stairs, like the staircase, which I'm watching, by the way.
So
But
good.
I'm watching the movie with Colin Firth. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm like sitting there watching. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. So later, there was an ATM down there too, and I was making
Mhm.
friends with the people that were waiting for the ATM and
'Cause they
whatever.
were also amazing,
They were
yes.
super fun. But then later, what is it, like Fifth Favorite Rich or whatever, was asking,
Mhm.
because we met him in person for the first time.
Mhm.
But he was
Mhm.
asking, he was like, is there an ATM in this place? I'm like, yeah, it's just down the stairs by the bathroom. And he's like, because we were at the hotel already. But I was like, we
Oh my
literally
god.
saw an ATM tonight. Why
Okay.
are you asking me this?
But do you have pictures of yourself in that bathroom? Because I sure have pictures of me in that bathroom.
No, I
Oh,
have
I do. I
pictures.
I had to take pictures because it was such a great bathroom.
I was sitting on the toilet taking pictures of
Okay,
the
that's
mirror.
not it was more of a I was standing up looking
No,
at the
I was
mirror,
sitting down.
but okay.
I was hurting. So I
Mhm.
was taking pictures of the mirror. I can't say it. I was taking pictures of all of the stuff, like the tile
Mhm.
work and
Like the
everything around there,
mosaic, yeah.
the mosaic, and I was sending it to my not boyfriend. So that's
Mhm.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was not
It was just
like, he needs to get over and just accept the fact that he's actually my boyfriend.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to the show.
No.
So yeah, so
It was kind of like it was the
and
kind
I
of
was
place
taking
you
everything.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, because you walk in and you're like, "Holy shit,
and
this
now I
is cool,"
scroll
and
through
every
my
step
photo
you
feed, and I'm like,
take
why are there so many pictures of this place?
I have so many fucking pictures
Me too.
on my phone of that place just
Well, there was so
'cause there's so much.
my new contact photo for Rich, because we have IRL phone numbers for
Ooh,
each other
yeah.
now. We have all of each other's phone numbers.
Kinda dangerous.
But my contact photo for Rich
Mhm.
is there was this grumpy fish a mosaic grumpy fish, and I immediately right then made
I
it his
remember
contact
the
photo.
salty fish. Yeah,
Salty fish. And then he turned around and made it my contact photo too. I was like, wow,
that's real love.
that was hurtful. No,
mhm.
that was hurtful
I
because
mean,
he's clearly a grumpy fish.
mhm.
And there was another fish that was the smiley goofy fish.
Yeah,
I think that one would be more appropriate.
now that you
But
say
he
it like that, I think you might be right.
so I think it was more of just a hurtful dig.
Yeah. I mean, he basically spent the whole weekend just
Just
being
being an
awful.
asshole. Like I
Just
was super mad.
awful. Like, ugh.
So, okay, there were my favorite part of the whole weekend. Well, I have a
Mhm.
lot of favorite parts, but my
Mhm.
main favorite part, besides breakfast and dinner and all of
And
the time
not going on the Ferris
together,
wheel. Yeah.
that was my favorite, was making you sad.
Mhm.
No, my favorite part was we were all just sitting on the couch Friday night,
Mhm.
and we're all just talking, and all the
Oh,
Skepticon
so
people are
great.
coming and going, and you and I so we're sitting literally were we next to each other? Or were we a space apart?
We were basically cuddled next to
We
each
were
other.
literally
Like,
next
we
to each
were
other.
right next to each other.
We're sitting there with Gentleman Caller, Dell, Rich, and a
Mhm.
bunch of other people. I think Chad was there for a minute, and
Mhm.
then, like, there were all these people that were here, like, in and out. There were people that were stopping in and saying hi. There were
Mhm.
people from the wedding that were joining us, like, who
Oh,
knows?
yeah.
There were, like, all these people. Amy and I kept texting each other. We had this ongoing conversation on the
Oh my
side.
God.
We were texting each other while talking, and we would just start laughing hysterically.
And they were such inappropriate
We were
jokes and
just
comments.
we weren't even talking about what was going on. We were just sending each other,
Mm-mm.
like, I would just send Amy an eggplant
We were like
out of nowhere
12-year-olds, and it was
because
so
Amy was
funny.
drinking for the first time in, like,
A little,
years.
maybe a lot, but
That near
it
that night.
was
But I would just send Amy an eggplant or something, and she would just start laughing, and everybody was, like, looking at us, and we're like, "We're 12, just mind your business." Calm
it was
down.
I haven't yet, but I wanna go back and read through that whole conversation because I
Was it
think
text or
it'll be
Messenger? I can't even
funnier. It was
remember.
on Messenger,
Okay. I
yes.
can't even remember. But, yeah, it
No,
was
it was
just so
definitely
funny
Messenger.
because we were literally just all in this group, and the
Mhm.
conversation we were having as a group was really good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was, like, kinda serious at times, and
Mhm.
just really in depth sometimes, just really great,
Mhm.
and then I would send Amy an eggplant or a peach.
Oh my God. It was the funniest fucking thing.
And then
Like,
we would just
just
and then she
because
would
you could
respond
send
back
it
with some bullshit. I'm like, "Oh my god."
because you can send it, it's inappropriate, and then you can turn your head and
And see
actually
the
look at the
reaction. That's
person
my favorite.
who just sent it,
That was my favorite part of the
and it
whole
adds a whole 'nother layer to it, which is just I highly
and
recommend people do that
we
more often.
how do you even explain that? Like, we were sitting there
Mm-mm.
talking to people, we were like, how do we explain that I just sent her an eggplant out of nowhere for no reason?" Or what was that thing that I sent you that just out of nowhere? It was, like, literally out of nowhere. I'm like,
Mhm.
what's the equivalent of fall on a sword for dick?" And you were like, "What the like, that makes no sense." There was no context. There was
It
no reason.
but it was so funny. See,
But
now
it
I'm scrolling back trying to find it
oh
just
my
'cause
god.
it's I can't
So,
even
yeah, that's
oh
why
my
we don't explain it. So the
God.
people that were with us, our friends, we
We
love
apologize for being rude.
we apologize for
It
being
was
rude and
very
being
rude.
12, but I can't help myself when I get these things in my head, I have to just send them somewhere, and Amy's usually my outlet.
And I mean, I was literally sitting right there,
But I
so
can't say it in the group because I think at that moment we were talking about
no.
something serious, and I'm like
Yes.
and I had a very serious question about dick sword analogies.
And I'm clearly the expert to ask
You are the expert to ask,
in
so
that kind of situation, so you know you're gonna get solid science-based answers when you come to me.
I'm pretty sure I got
Yeah.
LOL, which was and then you just started laughing. You just started
I
laughing. So that's what happened. So it was fun. We had fun. I had
I
fun.
just scrolled back through and I found a delightful gift that you sent, and it's just
Oh, I'm sure I was drunk and
it
there's
was fantastic. But okay, what else was I oh, so Don Ford Jr.
amazing. Picked us both up from the airport on 2 separate days.
not only picked me up from the airport,
Gave me alcohol because he knows my love language.
had asked ahead of time, like, I want to go get you guys whatever alcohol you want. And I said, well, I don't drink, but if you just like, if you want to
Yeah,
get like a very, very small case of water,
right.
just so I can like have some bottled water because I don't like to drink from the tap because I'm not a peasant. So
Right.
he's like, yeah, I'll do that. He showed up with 2 24-packs of bottled water,
Yeah. One went in
really
my
heavy
room.
ones.
One went in your room.
2 bags of the correct flavored popcorners because he pays
Uh,
attention to
No.
detail.
No.
hmm
They were not the correct ones.
They were absolutely
The sea salt ones are better.
no. They were the kettle corn flavor, which is absolutely the correct flavor. He took me to Walgreens so I could buy fucking nail polish that I didn't need but wanted
I have nail
because
polish.
well, I had nail polish, but I wasn't fully done with all these steps of my nail polish, and I needed like the quick dry stuff, and I couldn't bring that all through airport security, so I had to like get some there. So I got some dots because they're just the world's best snacks.
I hard agree.
This man paid for everything
It's amazing.
and then took me to the greatest Mexican restaurant I've ever been in, which, to be fair, I live in Minnesota.
She lives in Minnesota,
So
which is
it's
what I said,
not a high bar,
but it's probably amazing.
but
I
it
believe it.
definitely was the best place I had ever been to. And he and his family knew the owner. It's like a friend of theirs, and it's this just delightful young family. And we got there and they knew exactly what the 3 of them were having because they go there all the time. It was this couple and the wife was waiting tables and she's like, "So our regular cook is his wife's having a baby right now, so he's not here, and our dishwasher called out sick, so it's just her and her husband there trying to run the whole place." And they did a fucking amazing job of it. Like the food, it didn't even take that long. The food was amazing. And this guy came over and chatted with us for like half an hour. And I wanted to be his new best friend in a totally not weird way. But he had this just adorable little daughter run over with the little bow in her hair, and he picked her up, and it was so cute. It was just like,
Would have another baby.
what? Anyway.
Okay.
So,
Fair.
yes, it was the best. I mean, it was definitely the best meal I had the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
But like, it was the best meal I had had in a while, and I am just so grateful for that. I feel bad because
Wait, it was better than the place we went to with John and Dawn?
oh yeah, 100%. Although that
This was
restaurant,
good.
I had a
Okay,
Caesar
was it just
salad,
me?
so
Or was the waitress kind of flirting with me?
everybody was flirting with you.
No, that's not true.
Hmm,
So no, the
a
waitress
little bit true.
maybe.
Mm.
So the waitress was like, she was checking on everybody because she was just a really good waitress.
Mhm.
And then she'd come back over and she was like, "How are you doing? You're the one I really care about." Or you're the only one that matters, or something like that. I was like,
I feel very attacked right now. I didn't get that kind of treatment.
and I was like, what? And she was like, "Do you need more water? Do you need anything, hon?" I'm like, okay.
She wanted to hook up with you. I'm
know,
just.
That's what John McCullers said. He was like,
Mhm. I think
and
you
I was
need to
like,
go back and explore that.
she was adorable, actually.
She
But
really was very
yeah,
cute.
John was like, yeah, I heard that. I was like, and then okay, so at the bar that we were describing, that was amazing. I don't understand. I don't understand why when I go places people act super, super weird, but they do, and I don't know what to do about it. I want to all stop, and I want to be invisible. Honestly, I want to be an invisible person. But we went to this to that bar, and John was like, "Oh my gosh, go check out the fountain. There's like these really cool like dolls on top of the fountain." And I was like, "Okay." So I walked over to the fountain, and this lady who was wearing a red shirt was like, "Ooh, let me take a picture of you. You're so cute." And I was like, "No." And so I walked away,
It's a little weird.
and I waited. I sat down on the place where we were all sitting down because I'm looking for places to sit all the time because I'm hurting at that point. And I
Right.
waited for red shirt to go by, and then I went back to the fountain to look at all of the things. I was like, "What is happening?" I told Gentleman Call later, I was like, "Did you hear her?" And he was like, "No." I'm like, "Oh,
That's weird.
that's a lot.
Don't do that to strangers.
Don't
But
do that to anybody."
don't do that to strangers. Don't do it to anybody, but really don't do it to somebody you just saw on the
They
street.
were like, "You look so
that's
cute. I want to take a picture of you." I'm like, "No."
very weird.
I don't
Unless
even
it's
know.
me.
I
You
don't
can
think I
ask me because it'll
did that,
feed my
and I
ego.
when
But
I was wearing my polka dot dress, I
oh,
did
you
look
look
cute.
super cute. You
No, I
look
was wearing
cute the whole weekend. I mean, it
I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, I was wearing a polka dot dress. That's a good dress.
super cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
John got the gift that I brought for him, or more specifically, that Dell brought in their car
Or
because
Dawn, let's be real.
for Dawn, but also just to kind
Everything
of
we
make
do for
John
John is
jealous.
actually for Dawn.
It's true. It really is. But Dawn makes John happy, and so it's kind of for him, right? Like if she's happy, I don't know.
You know what would really make John happy is if he gave him that fucking pig.
He's never getting that pig. The
Okay.
only way
Saying.
he is getting that pig is if he physically comes to Minnesota
Mhm.
and finds out where I live
I have your address.
and steals it from my yard
I'll take it for him. It's fine. I'll come visit.
without my cats attacking him.
Why would the cats attack him? You just give him treats.
I mean,
Do they speak temptation language? Because mine do.
they're not very smart or aggressive, but they
So
might
it's-
stand up for that pig.
Do you think they would?
I can't. That pig is part of my life now, and I can't let him go.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I fixed his face. He's mine, and I like that Willis. I like having a thing that somebody else wants, and not letting them have it.
Fair. That's
Just
fair.
out of pettiness. That's
Okay.
how I operate. It makes me feel good inside to own a thing that I enjoy that somebody else wants, probably more than I do, frankly. But to not give it to them, it's like being drunk on power. So much power.
Oh, so this is unrelated to anything.
That's something I don't usually hear when we're recording, but
I know.
okay, whatever. You do you.
Do I say it every week? I think I do.
Neither one of
Probably
us ever says it, ever.
So I'm getting a tattoo on Thursday.
Mhm.
It's supposed to start at like 11 a.m. and then it's like until whenever. And I put in the time to get off, and my manager denied it. But I've been like, for a tattoo, like especially a
Mhm.
big piece, you have to put in months in advance.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm not going to like
Can't you just get COVID?
cancel my appointment or whatever. Well, no, the thing is if I miss a day of work, I will get written up, like, at this point. And I'm just like, I'm going to get,
Even if you have COVID?
especially if I have COVID.
God damn it.
No, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell my boss, look, there's nothing I can do. I have an appointment I can't change. I'm going to get written up for a tattoo, which feels kind of badass.
It is kind of badass. It's not.
Feels kind of bad. I mean, I don't care. I don't have any loyalty to this place. I'm going to school to get a better job. So, whatever. So, yeah, it's just kind of funny. It's like, I'm going to get written up on Thursday for a tattoo.
That is something that you could brag about. I'm just saying.
I'm going to, like,
When people are unsure about your street cred, you can be like, bitch, I got written up at work for a tattoo. I'm hardcore.
So, like, the one on my leg, I'm like, yeah, I sold my wedding rings and I got that tattoo. And then this one, I'm going to be like, I got to write up at work.
Okay, so we have this private messaging group.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That was several were established this weekend, but
they kept getting established, like, cutting out certain people like me.
it was hilarious. I'm sorry I cut you out of literally every group, but it was more fun without you there, and I'm not going to apologize.
It was like something was created, and then it was created without me. I was like, bitch.
And then you had no access to it except through me, and that gives me more power.
That's funny, actually.
I was just, I'm like scrolling through it because I have ADHD. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but so I'm reading Messenger, and did you see what Rich just said about the gym locker room?
Yeah.
That's a solid joke, and I really enjoy it because I know exactly what that smell is. So
it's like a 42% joke.
I mean, yeah, he says the gym locker room smells like cologne, Axe body spray, and white privilege. That's what all men smell like in America.
I would think that was like, yeah, that joke's like, as my daughter would say, mid.
Okay. I mean, it's not above and beyond. I'll give you that, but it's solid. It's like
Rich
a meaty joke. He doesn't listen to the show.
He does. So when he listens, the joke is good for a man.
Yes, that's
it's a really solid man joke, but for a woman,
I mean, but he's got the disadvantage of not being a woman.
That's true.
And so I'm willing to cut him some slack there, although he has, for reasons that shall remain unknown, jumped to probably 78th favorite Rich. I don't know. Let's workshop this. I think 78, but you said like 157, so maybe I
No.
should go with like
That's what I told him
250th.
today.
Okay.
Okay. But what I said earlier, I said
Mhm.
26th or something.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
How about
So
like
So the problem is
482?
now that we've met him, we have all the ammunition to put him wherever we want.
Oh,
And
it's
I
so true.
don't
So
know if it's going to
true.
be favorable for him.
I mean, I feel like it wasn't fair before, but it's going to
Okay.
be extra
Well, now
unfair
it's like
now.
extra unfair because now we can be like, well, you didn't wait for us at the buffet that one morning.
Well, and he made the mistake of
So
reminding me that I have his address.
you do.
Patreon, bitch. He
You
put
do.
his address into Patreon. So now I'm going to send him an army of cats. I'm planning it right now.
Send him the
So many
pig.
cats.
That would be like Willis.
That would make Willis so fucking angry.
I love that. You piss off two people at once.
That thought is like
I know.
arousing to me right now, just how petty and shady it is. I can't even.
All right. Do you have
Wow.
the Patreon list pulled up?
Fuck no. Do I ever?
Yes, you usually do, actually.
I mean, I am still in a brain fog
It was so much fun. I'm
from
so
the
tired.
entire, because like coming home is disorienting
It is.
because you've been on this whole weekend where you have like no
And I walked in the
responsibilities.
door, and neither of my cats would even let me
No.
touch them for a while because they were pissed.
No,
And
I
then
mean mine.
one went like my thirsty bitch was like flipping all over me, and she was like purring, and then she kept biting me. I'm like, I get it. Calm down. And then today, I literally had to work half the day holding one. I had to work with one arm because she just would not let me put her down.
Oh my God.
It was so, and every time I put her down, she'd like, it was
okay.
sad.
We have a slight problem. It won't. Oh, maybe it'll work now. I was going to say, Patreon does not want to show me anything until I fill out a form I'm supposed to fill out that I have been dodging for quite some time.
I mean, we can just do it another week. It's fine.
So oh wait, no, here it is. It's fine.
Okay.
If you want to become a patron and give us a whole bunch of your money, which we highly recommend,
really encourage this behavior
all the time. We love it. In fact, Rich, if you could send us even more of your money,
that would be great.
I always need more nail polish. I'm going to have to get the funds to mail that pig to you. That's going to be expensive because that fucker is heavy. I'm just saying that right now. It's big and it is heavy. And it comes with an entire wardrobe of outfits.
Do you want the pig or not?
It's not even about the pig. Do you want to make Willis so insanely jealous?
Now that you've met Willis in person, don't you see why we want to piss him off so badly?
Right? It's because he's too perfect.
So nice and delightful.
There's like so little actually wrong with him that it makes me want to fuck with him.
So that's the thing, is hanging out with him on the show. Great.
Mhm.
Hanging out with him in person. Like,
this guy has racing stripes
love this
on
man.
his fingernails.
I asked him if it makes him go faster, and he was like, of course it does. Like, his hands move so fast.
I mean, it's just he and Don are, they're wow.
Delightful.
Which isn't to say that everybody else isn't also delightful, because I feel like we're giving all the love to Don and John.
We just spent a lot of time with them.
But we spent a lot of time with them, and it was there. It's a whole thing. Anyway, okay, patrons. So at the $6.66 a month or higher level, you will get a shout out almost every single week when I remember to do it. So thank you to April, who I hear has a hot tub, and I'm so fucking angry about not getting the hot tub this weekend that I might fly out to Texas just to use your hot tub.
Hot girl, hot tub night.
Don Ford, voice of fantasy and adventure that kept us in drinks and snacks and food.
It's amazing.
And delight all weekend. I am so sorry that I didn't spend more time trying to figure out your tiara situation, because I frankly didn't realize how much time it was going to take me to put on makeup.
Right?
Like, once you get into it,
they got there, they're like, where is everybody? We're like, we're still putting on makeup and showering.
Right?
Like,
well, and then I had to stop because I had Dell doing an entire master's lesson for me on selfies and that. I mean, whatever. Erin, who I need to hang out with Erin this week. You're so cool, Erin. Lois, who missed her flight and did not get to come to Skepticon.
I know. I was bummed I didn't get to
I
spend
am
time
so
with you.
sorry, because that would have, frankly, had that happened to me, I would still be in a ball crying at home right now. So I hope that's not what's going on with Lois.
Same.
A noble spirit embiggens the smallest man, a perfectly cromulent statement. I would like to acknowledge that Freethinker215 sent us a really cool long message, and we both replied. Probably not in enough detail, but it was a really cool message. And
Well, I was at the airport to fly to Skepticon.
true. I think I would love to meet Freethinker215 eventually, because
Me too.
he's kind of like just this very interesting, mysterious figure in the atheist podcast world. Renee April, Florida Man News, aka Joel from Florida, who I couldn't help but notice was not at Skepticon.
Rude.
Paul, Randall, Life in the Left Lane, Yesh, Natalie, Wendy, Nuggin, and our I don't know what to commit to. Our 74th favorite Rich.
Fair.
I mean, that seems
I was just gonna go with whatever.
Seems reasonable, right?
So actually yesterday when he left for his flight, I told him 126th.
Okay.
So you were actually being more generous.
I did not tell him anything because I was sleeping so fucking hard that I could not get up.
I literally threw on a romper. He came to my door. I was like, it is 7:30 in the morning. Or it was actually
back up.
8 in the morning.
Back up.
Mm-hmm.
He came to your door?
To my hotel room door, yes.
To say goodbye?
Yes.
Did you ask him to come to your door?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess that makes it better then. So I was
And
going to say, no,
he
didn't come to my door, but I was also
everybody
sleeping.
Had been in your room, and he had messaged everybody like, "Let me know if you want me to come to you."
Yeah,
or
that's true. And I did not respond to that, and I was sleeping. So
but I had sent him a
listen,
message.
I guess
at
that's fair.
3 in the morning saying,
but still,
because I knew his flight left super early, and I didn't know if I would wake up for it. So I sent him a message super early saying, "Hey, say goodbye on your way out. Just stop by and say goodbye. Just and so I can hug you and chat with you for a minute before you leave." So I just literally threw on a romper and just like chatted with him for a minute. And then,
I mean, I could have stayed up much later watching Dell eat pizza and staring at a weird emergency phone on the wall with Rich.
I was already asleep by then because I
felt bad because I was like, I know he's got to leave early.
Yeah, I had
and he was yawning, and it was a whole thing. Yeah, I hadn't slept in like 3 nights, so it was like my body just went, you know what? That's it. You need to sleep. Fucking deal with it. So anyway, Skepticon was lovely. I know we missed all kinds of stuff to talk about. Maybe I'll think of it by next week, and then we can talk about that part then. I met some other very cool people. I'm in the middle of trying to write a long Facebook post about it. Chad, if you're listening, I'm serious about being best friends and traveling the world and seeing Broadway musicals. And
I love
your fucking Skeptiprom jacket.
I couldn't get over it. And then the hair,
the glitter,
everything
on the face. Agreed with every single stance I have on Broadway musicals, and I appreciate that from anybody. So anyway, we had a blast. And yeah, we'll do it all again next year.
Still, my favorite part was sending you texts. We were talking about serious things.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Like,
I can't be contained. And Amy basically at one point turned towards me, and we're just laughing, and everybody's looking at us like we're just the idiots that we are. And Amy was like, "I'm sorry, this is my soulmate, and we are just having a moment. Like, we're basically soulmates."
To be fair, you turned down my marriage proposal, and I thought I asked very nicely.
I said yes the first time.
Very nicely.
It was funny because you said, "Will you marry me?" And I immediately said yes. And Gentleman Caller went, "Wow." Which was funny.
Did he have the forethought to have that whole place rented out and decorated just for you? No, because I did.
The thing is, there was already a wedding going on, and you were like, "Let's just walk in behind them. We're already glammed up." Like,
what are they going to do? Here's the thing. They're going to look like the assholes if they say anything.
That cop would.
That cop
well,
wanted to get in on that, I think.
he would have let us down the aisle. I
We
think.
never got our free cake, and I'm angry. I wanted to be eating free cake on the Ferris wheel.
Smart.
Someday, maybe that'll happen for me.
We can go there every weekend. I'm sure there's a wedding every weekend, honestly.
Can't be that expensive to just fly into St. Louis every single weekend, right?
Okay, flying to St. Louis was way more expensive than flying anywhere else that I've experienced lately.
God, it was
Why was it so fucking
fucking
expensive to fly to
crazy.
St. Louis, it was a garbage city. And
It was
a garbage
the
airport.
worst. Like, I can't say enough bad things about St. Louis overall.
But I fly to other places, and
It was
it's like
so
hundreds of dollars
fucking
cheaper.
expensive
Like $200 cheaper to fly anywhere else.
to a garbage town.
To a garbage town.
Yeah, we need to. Anyway.
Although our Uber driver at the end was delightful.
Oh, absolutely. He was
Like I liked all of our Uber
everybody
drivers.
this weekend. Like all the people who worked there for the most part. The bartender at
Super
Skepticon,
nice.
she was a delight.
She was a delight.
She put
The
so
two
much time and
bartenders that
effort
were
into my
low-key
one
fighting.
drink. Yes. There was
So
at the end. I was just gonna say at the end of all the way at the end of the night on Saturday night, I went outside to not smoke because I am not a smoker. And there was a guy who worked there and he was trying to pull this huge cart of like empty liquor bottles and shit. And he
Was it from my room?
he physically could not hold the door and pull the cart at the same time.
Right.
So for a few minutes, I thought, could this be a murder trap? And I decided it probably was too much of a setup. So
Were
I went
you outside or
not
was-
yet. I was steps from being outside.
Okay.
So I like walked up and held the door for him. He's like, no, you don't have to do that. And he's like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, dude, you would have been stuck in that door frame all night trying to pull these fucking empty, like,
Right.
hopefully anybody would have held
I
that
would have done
door
that. Yeah.
if they weren't a dick.
I would have asked if there's any
So-
drops in those.
Oh, and I got to hear so much gossip in the bathroom from the bride and her friends.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Hot goss.
I mean, they were discussing whether or not the two friends, each of them, should they have more kids? And like two is
Never. The
I
answer
looked
is
at
no.
both of them and I'm like, look, two is plenty.
Did you
Because
say
the
that?
one was like, maybe I should have. Oh, I absolutely
No.
said that. I absolutely said that. She's like, I don't know, maybe. And I'm just like, you know what? Two is plenty.
You know what?
Don't have
Any
that
is
third
too
one.
many. Any is too many.
It is, but they were already in that
So
deep.
my logic is you have two hands.
Mm-hmm.
If all three of them run at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
you have to pick who you love more. That's it. Who do I want to go into the street? Which one of you little fuckers is going to die tonight?
It's
And that's what
fair.
you have to do.
As
you
a
have to do-
parent, you have to make those kinds of sad.
So what I would do, I am a mother of three.
Mm-hmm.
You trip the third one.
Well, I
That's what
mean,
you do.
you need to put them in their place somehow.
That's my solid parenting thing for the night.
Since I have been gone for a week and super, super guilty about it because my son desperately missed me, now I have to take him and his friend to the county fair tomorrow, and it's going to be like 90 degrees outside.
My Amy was there. My kid is texting me. I forgot
Mhm.
to tell them which day I was leaving for Skepticon.
Oh,
and
no.
they're like, they were at their dad's house. So I thought, everything's fine.
Mhm.
No, it's not. They're like, we're knocking on your door. Why aren't you answering? Where are you? I was like, I'm in St. Louis. And they're like,
That was pretty funny, though.
oh, and they were like, you didn't respond. We figured you were on a plane. I was like, I was on a plane. Now I'm in St. Louis because that's where the plane went to.
Oh, my God. No, I just got sad texts like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, my God. Like, I'm so sad and lonely that you're gone.
No.
and I'm
Oh,
having
no.
So many regrets.
The level of your sad text.
Right? I'm amazed I was able to not be sad at all.
No, I'm surprised you were laughing the whole time because it was hilarious. All right, I'm going to close this out. You can go.
Please do. It's time to go. I
Time to
still
go.
haven't slept in long enough, so
I haven't either, but I'm going to
figure it out. All right. Thanks
gonna
for
drink.
listening, everybody.
great.
Thanks for seeing us at
Bye.
Skepticon. See you next
Yes.
time.
Bye.
Thanks to all of you motherfuckers who put up with the Amy's droning on week after week. If you enjoy their delightful bitchcraft, please follow them on all of the social medias and send them all of your money on Patreon or PayPal. You can find them on these platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. If you want to bitch with other fans about the show, join the Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell Amy and Amy to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com, although it may go unanswered. Please rate and review the show on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, text someone right now. Tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.